Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Romina for those of you who are new here, and for those who are not, welcome back. I am finally going to be setting up my budget spread for the month of April. Things, of course, right now are very crazy, but I'm trying to normalize as many things as I can, one of them being my budget. So a lot of the categories that I actually have in my budget are pretty much going to be staying the same. The only things that are going to be changing are the amounts that I'm going to set for them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to just put this right next to me as a guide, and I will be moving on to, let me go ahead and go to April. And this is how this looks. So in the next couple of videos that I'll be having up on my channel, I'm going to be setting up different spreads like the monthly view. I'll go ahead and set up right now my budget spread, sinking funds, variable income, and as the month goes by, I'll go ahead and set up things like my weekly check-in and my debt snowball spreads. Now, if you guys are completely new to my channel and are wondering what planner I use as my budget planner, this is the Deluxe Monthly Planner by Erin Condren. I typically like to make my budget spread on the right side, right after the monthly view. This is just where I've done it pretty much always, so that's where it is. Now, the Deluxe Monthly Planner comes with 5 pages within each month, and that's usually the perfect amount of pages for me, which is why I like this planner so much. If you guys are interested, I'll leave a link for this planner down below, which as of right now, I believe they're on super sale, like around 40% off. Now let me go ahead and get my stickers. Now the stickers I'll be using to set up my April budget spread are going to be my floral washi kit and my correlating budget kit in the same print. So let's go ahead and just get started. Now, like I mentioned, I still am going to pretty much have all the categories that I typically have, because I still will need, to pay for bills, to have my cash dividers, although I'm not 100% sure as of now if I'm going to be doing cash dividers or going back to cash envelopes. I'm kind of debating because I have this really cute vinyl color that I want to make into cash envelopes right now. So you guys will see in the next couple of videos, especially when I make my cash stuffing one. Okay, I really love this print. Cute. If you guys are interested in these stickers, of course, as always, I will have a link for my Etsy shop in the description box as well. So let me see. First off, for my income, I like to note my shop, my Etsy shop, Romina Rosa, which pays me once a month, which is how I'm able to do this monthly budget and just stuff my cash envelopes once a month. So I will put Romina Rosa as the first source. And then the second source is going to be variable, which all of this is sources like YouTube, Share a Sale, Patreon, all of that good stuff. And then let me go ahead and break this up. I do have a bit of updates for you guys, but I think most of them are going to be in my sinking funds video, but I guess I'll just go ahead and mention it here. My insurance, my car insurance, actually ended up going down, so I'm going to be putting a little bit more money to one of my variable expenses, and I think we'll just go ahead and start with that. Let's go ahead and put the fixed expenses too. So I like to separate my variable and fixed just because I get a lot of room when doing this, and that's just something that's been working for me for well over a year. I don't think I ever mentioned what size it is that I use for the planner, but this is the 7x9, but they also offer the bigger one, which is the 8.5x11, and smaller versions like the petite planner size. So they really cater, I think, to any type of person, any budget, and any size. So for my variable expenses, I'm going to first put the categories that I like to weekly check in for, which are my cash envelopes. So first up, we have groceries. And for groceries, I'm going to keep it the same amount as last month. $222 seems to be a pretty good amount for me, especially when I end up combining this with household expenses or like toiletries and stuff like that. As you guys know, I live with my parents and I don't typically have to buy, let's say, groceries for every one of us. I mainly just focus on buying stuff that I'm going to need, or also help out in the house if they need, you know, to buy extra stuff. So I believe like last month I started buying things like toilet paper because I found that, detergent, and just things like that. I was able to take it out of my groceries cash envelope because I had that extra money in there. So I am going to just keep it at $225 for this month. Like I mentioned, I don't really know what's going to come in the future, but as of now I want to have all of my cash envelopes fully stocked so that I, just in case of an emergency, I have this money. So that's the first cash envelope. Next we have eating out. And this isn't going to be eating out per se, although I have gone to like, you know, drive-through places like Cane's, Chick-fil-A. But this past week, actually, I ended up ordering something off of DoorDash. So I was debating whether I wanted to lower this amount, but I think I'm going to keep it the same for this month, which has been around $125. And this is going to be, of course, for like drive-thrus if I'm craving something or if I want to get something off of DoorDash or any other delivery service. So that's that. Next, I have gas. And for gas, I typically don't drive that much as a whole because I work from home and I'm pretty much a homebody, as I always mention. But this month I know that I definitely won't be driving as much, if at all. So I'm going to be putting the lowest amount I've ever budgeted for gas, which it is going to be $40. And typically on a good day, $40 fills up my tank. I know as of now gas prices have gone down, so even if I fill up, let's say, once this month, I probably would still have some money left over. I don't know, I haven't pumped gas in a really long time, probably since before gas prices went down. So I don't know exactly how much they've gone down to, but I just know that $40 should be more than enough. And that is a really good thing, I think, especially this month, because I am able to save in categories like gas that I typically wouldn't be able to save if I didn't have to stay at home. So that is the budgeted amount for gas. Next up, we have my allowance cash envelope. And for my allowance, I am budgeting the same amount I always budget, which is $100. Now this is really going to vary between person, but I have found that $100 works out really well for me. And I think it's always important to, you know, set aside a little bit of money for yourself, whether that be for things that you want to do, if you want to go out to eat places, or if you want to do self-care things. I honestly don't think that just because you're budgeting, you have to deprive yourself or not do the things that you love. If you can, you should include them every so often. So that is allowance. And then my next category is my beauty cash envelope, which of course, since all of the nail salons are closed, I have lowered this amount by around like $60. So as you guys know, I still do dye my hair, and I never really went to like a hair salon to get it dyed, although I really wanted to get a trim for my hair. That's obviously not going to happen this month. I'll probably just move it to like whenever I can, but instead of the $160 that I've been budgeting for that, I'm actually going to be budgeting $100. I think this is still going to be a little bit higher than what I will need, but I'd rather just be safe than sorry. And that's really going to be, I think, enough to cover like hair dyes, or if I want to, I don't know, buy myself a new foundation because I think I'm running out. Just to be safe, I'm going to just do that. And of course, whatever it is that I don't spend by the end of the month, I'll go ahead and put it straight towards savings, towards a sinking fund that I like, or a savings challenge, which is actually what I was doing last month. So stay tuned for my March budget results video to see how I did with that. Next, I have my coffee cash envelope, and my coffee, as I mentioned before, has been an incentive for me to study. If you guys don't know, I am taking interpreting courses, and guys, I'm actually going to be taking my very last one in the month of April, which is kind of crazy because of everything that's going on. So everything's going to be online, and I honestly don't know how we're going to do it, but it's just a crazy time right now. If you guys don't know and you guys have not been watching my videos, I was supposed to take my interpreter written exam on March 31st, but of course that ended up getting postponed. So the new date for that is going to be May 4th. So I definitely want to still have this category for this month. Although I'm not going to be, going out to cafes because I can't. I am still going to go, let's say, to get a Starbucks through the drive-thru, or maybe Terra Mia. I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely want to just have that as an incentive once again to study and to kind of focus, although it's kind of hard to do it, at home with everybody here, but I'm definitely going to try my best. So I am budgeting less than I budgeted for this last month. For this month, I'm only budgeting $40. I think this should be more than enough, especially because I still have some money left over my Starbucks card. Next up, a new category that I added last month is my rent category. Like I mentioned, I do live with my parents, and for the longest, they've never asked me to pay for rent. I've only ever had to pay for things, small bills like electricity. So ever since last month, I've decided to start giving my parents money. And since the amount that I'm paying for my car insurance has been lowered, I'm actually going to be putting a little bit extra for this rent category. So I know last month I budgeted $300. So for this month, I'm going to bump this up to $370. And the reason why it's $370 is because I am the account holder for our phone bill, and so their part of the bill is usually around $120. So then I said that I was going to give them $250 on top of that, and that's how we get the $370. So that's why it's such an awkward number, but that's kind of the reason why. Next, I have my phone bill. And this has been pretty low the past couple of months. So I am only budgeting $110. Well, I mean, in comparison to other months. So $110 for this month. And then aside from that, I don't have anything out of the ordinary that I would have to budget for this month. I do have my mom's birthday, but as you guys know, I have a birthday sinking fund now. So I will just be stuffing money into there for that. So aside from that, I don't have anything else for my variable expenses, but my last category, which is essentially just a placeholder, and it is for any unbudgeted expenses. Now, as you guys know, I don't budget anything for unbudgeted. This is just my little placeholder or kind of buffer section in my budget spread. So that doesn't get anything, but of course, if I have any unbudgeted expenses, the actual number will be right here. So that's it for variable expenses. I'm just going to leave a space just in case I miss something or something comes up in the middle of the month. Usually things end up happening like that. So, life just happens. And then I'll go ahead and total it up. We have 225 plus 125 plus 40 plus 100 plus 100 plus 40 plus 370 plus 110. So the total budgeted amount for my variable expenses is going to be $1,110. That's that. And then for my fixed expenses, which is anything that has a fixed amount or an amount that does not change within the month, those would be things like your minimum payments for credit cards, car payments, car insurance, subscriptions, student loans, things like that. So the first one that I have here, because you guys know, I'm actually really happy to not have to put my credit cards anymore, and I just feel so grateful that I was able to pay off all of my credit cards before everything started happening. So I'm really thankful to just be in the position that I am. So and here I have my car payment, and I'm not sure why last last few months I've rounded up my car payment when in reality I don't use cash for that, so there's no need to do that. So the actual amount is $348.06. I usually rounded it up to $349. But that's an auto pay. Next, I have a little category for subscriptions. And this just has 2 subscriptions, which are the Spotify family payment that I have to give my sister and my iCloud storage for all of my Apple devices. So both of those is a total of $6.99 a month. Next, I have my student loans, which I am now trying to pay off now that I've paid all of my credit card debt. And so I'm going to first just put the minimum payment, which has always been $130.77, and then I'll go ahead and have a little extra debt payment section category like I always do. After this, I have my tuition, which I didn't end up paying tuition for the month of March, so I am going to just go ahead and mark that off there, just because I didn't foresee us having a week off since we haven't had a week off in so long. And then after the whole thing with the virus has happened, they actually pushed back the starting date for our final class. So I'm actually going to have to pay this, I want to say like this weekend. I want to say so. So this is going to be my last month paying tuition, I believe so. And I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like, I don't know, I'm going to make a whole update on my interpreting courses like I've been saying, and I guess I'll talk about it more there. So my tuition amount is $298. And then next category we have tithe. And tithe gets $150. Next we have sinking funds, which stay tuned for my sinking funds video. I believe I added one more category this month, a very important category. And sinking funds is getting $881. And then last but not least, I have my extra debt payment category, which is just any extra money that I'll be putting at the end of the month. And this, for the most part, is going to be blank up until I make that extra debt payment. So that is that. And now let me go ahead and leave a space for here as well. Here, and now let's break up my expenses from my totals. So for the most part, everything, all of my categories are pretty much the same. There's just been a change, of course, with the amounts in some of them. But like I mentioned in my debt snowball video for March, I'm just going to go ahead and put my totals in here. All of my student loans are at a 0% interest right now just because of the whole virus going on. And so I might end up putting, or I have a goal actually to put $1,000 towards that. So hopefully I'm able to meet that goal. So let me put it here. And then left over I have my little squared pattern box and some decos. So at the end of the month, I'll go ahead and subtract all of my expenses from my income, and whatever I have left over, I like to split it between savings and debt. So then I'll just go ahead and decorate these right here. My nails are shorter now, so I can definitely do this with just my hands. That's so funny. Okay. I definitely miss getting my nails done. Oh, I totally forgot to mention. That's the reason why I didn't bring the amount super low. It's because I am planning on buying more like press-on nails so that I still have presentable nails on camera, because these have got to go. Okay, but with that being said, that is pretty much all that I have for this April budget video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you guys did, please don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. I hope that you guys are still budgeting or looking forward to either saving money during these times, putting money towards debt, but of course with putting all of your necessities and bills first. And hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys!